Welcome to the Generational Yap podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harmony.
And I am Sage, and this is the show where two perspectives, two eras, and two personalities come together and break down pop culture, nostalgia, and real life moments.
Let's yap, y'all.
So Harmony, I know you're not on TikTok very often.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I have to keep you going on what's going on TikTok.
Yes.
Okay, so there's this kid named Big Dog Davis. Okay. And he's actually a high schooler. You would never think so because he's got a baby face. He has been reviewing school lunches.
Really?
I know this sounds so silly, but his following is like millennials and Gen X, and we are addicted. Like, he was sick one day and we were concerned. He's okay now, thank God for that. But he is just so wholesome. And he has these little sayings like, okay. And, he does things like that. He's very, nonchalant about things. But just seeing the school lunches brings you back. He has got like 900,000 followers.
That is amazing. And okay, since he's doing school lunches, has he done the little square pizza?
He has done pizza.
Because I
Yes.
remember I used to love that little square pizza. I don't know why, but I used to love it.
So I have looked for that pizza and I don't think it exists. I looked for recipes, don't think it exists.
Jeez, well, where'd they get this pizza from then?
Well, I actually know this idea. I mean, I know how they do it. My grandmother was a lunch lady back when lunch ladies actually cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave me the recipe for it.
You're
Yeah, so
kidding.
no, I have it. I feel like this is gold, right?
Yes, you've got like the KFC recipe, basically.
The crust has actually, this is unique in my opinion, buttered milk.
Really?
The goal was to use all the commodities that the government gave them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll have to forward that to you.
Heck yes. It's just another way that people make a way out of no way. Like, you're going to give me scraps,
Yes.
I'm going to figure out what to do with it.
But here's the bad thing. I've got the recipe. I have actually made it. It's not the same.
Is it very far off, or is if you did a couple of tweaks, it'd be close?
There's just that happiness factor. You know, the happiness factor of the school pizza, like, oh my gosh, it's Friday, it's school pizza.
Yes, core memory.
And you get like 2 pieces because it's so good.
Yes.
It doesn't have that. I don't know what it is.
Wonder for kids these days, like, what is that school lunch for them that's like, yes, I can't wait to have this?
I have no idea.
Me
I
neither.
don't know. My kids are homeschooled, so they're like, I don't know. What is school lunch?
When I see parents post the lunches, they don't look that great. So I'm like, what are these kids being fed?
I heard that we love Michelle Obama on this podcast, right? Go
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes. Hugs for Michelle. You're the best.
However, I did hear that after her implementation of certain regulations in the school cafeteria, that it kind of took a nosedive.
Oh,
And that is one thing I do understand where she came from on that. But we have a lot of hungry kids.
yes.
Lot of hungry kids. Just feed those kids. Just feed them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At this point, it's also, I don't know why people are paying for school lunches for children, especially when some of the times that may be the one meal a day that that child gets.
Me and you both. Okay, if you're going to require that you send your kids to a public school where they're going to be in captivity basically for 7 hours or so, feed them.
Absolutely. And to think how embarrassing it is for a child. Like, if that parent can't pay for the school lunches for that child to be denied food, that's embarrassing.
Makes my blood boil. Did you see? I don't know where this was. A school lunch lady got fired for giving kids an alternative free lunch. It was nothing. It was like a PB&J or a grilled cheese or something, which costs next to nothing to make.
Mhm.
She got fired.
Serious?
I am very serious. And you know what? That's fine. She'll have a special place in heaven. So,
She will. There will
yeah.
be more blessings that come to her
Yeah,
because she was doing the right thing and living with that good intent.
exactly. That's right.
Yes.
Have you listened to any good music lately?
So first, call back to our last episode. I
Mhm.
talked about the song Man I Need by Olivia Dean and how I was looking forward to the pre-sale for her concert that just happened this past Tuesday.
Yes.
So I'm like corporate girly, so I can schedule meetings around when I need to purchase my tickets. I'm on Ticketmaster in the queue, probably 15 minutes early. I think you can join 10 to 15 minutes early. And when I get in, there's 5,000 people ahead of me.
My gosh.
Yes. So I'm watching the numbers go down. I finally get in. Most of everything in the presale was completely bought up. There was twice during me trying to get these tickets where I went to add 2 tickets to the checkout and it was like, "One of your seats is gone." Happened to me twice. Finally, I was able to score us tickets, but getting tickets to see Olivia Dean was harder than getting tickets to see Beyonce.
Wow.
Yes, it was that serious, but I'm so excited. So we're gonna go to the Denver show next July. I'm pumped to see her.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. I love concerts. I'm a big music person, but and we'll get more into this later. My music of the week is Be My Lover by LaBouche. I really wish I was in the club when that song came out. I feel like I would have had a time.
Okay. So last week you mentioned the Olivia Dean, was it Be My Man?
Man, I need.
A Man I Need. So I wrote that down, listened to it, and that was really, really good.
Yes. Did it give you just a happy feel good feeling?
It reminded me of the 90s. I know I keep saying that. That's like my feel good time, but just it was pop, it was blues, it was soul, and she's got talent.
Yes. That young lady is going to go far. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more from her, actually.
Yeah.
But that reminded me of another artist that I thought you would really like, and you probably already heard of her because I know you're a music person.
Mhm.
I hope I say this right. Zania Monet?
It's one of her songs, Yoga. No, I'm thinking of
Hmm.
Janelle
There's a
Monet.
song called The Strong Don't Get a Break
No,
from
I haven't
her.
heard that. Tell me more.
So you spell her name Xania. And she has that same bluesy, soulful feel. And you could just feel it deep down when she sings. The emotion is so strong. I really want you to listen to her because I think this would be just right up your alley.
Okay, perfect. I will definitely put that on. Listen, I'll listen to anything at least once.
Mhm. But let me know what you think.
Absolutely, I will.
So, my song of the week is by Goddess Mariah Carey.
Timeless.
I know that me and you have talked about eventually doing a deep dive series, and I really would like for it to be with her.
Absolutely.
And well, I think her first two albums are my favorite, which is Mariah Carey and then Emotions.
Yes.
Now, as I was thinking about this today, because I knew I was going to bring it up, I got to thinking about the first time I ever saw her, and she was walking out on stage. I think it was the AMAs or something like that. Back then, music award shows were a big deal.
I used to tune in all the time.
Yes, me and you both. And you might have seen this then. She wore a black bodysuit.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, it was all about the dancing, the performing. She doesn't dance,
No.
you know? She does not need to dance.
No.
Yeah. So she came out and she had this hair. This was like in 1990, I think. And she had these ringlets, and it was like this big mane of ringlets that was like a halo going around her head. And here I am, this white girl with straight, fine hair that will not hold curl at all, which is horrible for that time period. And I wanted her hair so badly. But did you know it took me years to find out that she's half black?
Yeah.
Because that was a hidden secret. They strategically hid it from the public.
Tommy Mottola was the worst.
Oh, yes. I want to read her book. I have not done that yet. She talks about just the abuse and the mind control. She was just a musical construct for him.
She really was. And do you know that J-Lo was invented to get back at Mariah Carey?
Yeah, I do know that.
It's just so ridiculous.
Now, let me tell you, I love me some J-Lo, okay?
Listen, J-Lo, she's got some hits in her, but also J-Lo, she has got the most confidence I've ever seen in any person in my life.
If only I could have just a fraction of that.
Yes.
J-Lo's an actress, in my opinion, a great actress.
There's some movies of hers that I enjoy, like Selena,
Yes.
she killed that, she did that. I also love her in the movie Enough. At the end, she went off. I think she's really good there. Some of the other movies, I'm like, I could have done without.
They're kind of lighthearted movies, most definitely. But she does not hold a candle to Mariah Carey. The 5-octave voice, Mariah Carey, there's just no way.
Iconic. And do you remember, I think it might have been the MTV Awards when her and Whitney Houston came out in the same dress.
Actually, I don't remember that.
Well, you have to look it up on YouTube. It
I
was so
will.
good. They came out in the same dress and they did a song together. I think it's called When You Believe. Have you heard that song?
I think so. I'm going to write this down here.
Okay,
And
you have to listen to it.
yeah, because what I was going to tell you is that I feel like there's several women who may not be straight up pop, but I'm going to call them pop goddesses because they kind of float in and out of that genre. Dolly Parton.
Mhm.
I mean, even if you don't like country music, Dolly's a goddess.
She's an icon.
Absolutely. So you got the Mariah Carey,
Mhm.
Whitney Houston,
Mhm.
and Kelly Clarkson.
Love Kelly Clarkson
Oh
so
my
much. And oh
gosh.
my gosh, Kelly Clarkson does not get the credit that she deserves.
Oh, that voice. Oh my gosh. That
So
girl can sing anything.
I want her to go on tour because my dad actually really enjoys Kelly Clarkson. And I told him, if she goes on tours, I'm going to take you. So I want her to go on tour so me and my dad could go see her together.
That would be the one concert I actually go to.
Yes, it's so good. And Whitney has no business being dead.
No.
I wish I could have seen her. My gosh, she was funny. She was beautiful. That voice.
Yeah. I remember the first time I heard Whitney Houston, it was that memorable.
Hmm.
And she was the cover for that album. I can't remember the name of the album. I think it might have been Whitney. I'm not sure. The cover of it was really strange because her hair was all slicked back and she was going for that minimalist look. But that voice was deep and rich. And she too was taken advantage of by
She
her
absolutely
producers.
was.
Yeah.
And do you remember when she sang the Star Spangled Banner?
Yes. Oh, yes. I don't think it's ever gotten better than that.
I don't think it has either. I think the only person I think who came kind of close might have been Demi Lovato, but
Okay.
Whitney still holds the number one spot for singing that.
Do you know with Whitney Houston, she's got this attitude in her voice.
Yes.
The others I mentioned don't have that attitude.
No.
So she's just different, and I don't even know how to describe it other than attitude, but you can feel the sassiness within her.
Whitney was in a league of her own, and you knew not to play with Whitney Houston because she would give it as good as she got.
But she ended up with Bobby Brown, who, by the way, I do love some Bobby Brown songs, but
Same.
the worst decision she could have made.
Well, and I think a lot of people put her drug use on Bobby, but she was doing drugs before Bobby.
Is that right?
Yeah, her brother introduced her to drugs, and Bobby Brown actually couldn't keep up with her and her brother.
I'm glad you told me that because I've always blamed Bobby Brown.
Yeah, a lot of people blame Bobby Brown, but her brother got her into it, and they would run laps around Bobby.
I'm just so sorry that anyone, especially when their life is just that amazing, that they have the need for drugs.
Yes, and I feel like, man, I don't even know what it is because there's always, the allegations about her and Robin. So I wonder sometimes too if she could have been who she really was inside or been with the people she really wanted to be with, if maybe that wouldn't have happened, or maybe, she was just experimenting and got addicted because that happens to people too.
True. That's true. And it's also the workload. If you're working that many hours and they're expecting you to work that many hours, maybe you just feel like you need a little something.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, Clive Davis, who said that Whitney was supposed to be like a daughter to him, the fact
Ugh.
that he still threw a Grammy party when her body is dead in this tub upstairs, disgusting.
That is one of the saddest things I've ever heard.
It is just, how could you do that to somebody?
His excuse was, "Oh, she would have wanted us to." I would not have been capable of doing that.
No, I literally would have been sliding down a wall crying because I just lost someone who meant a ton to me.
I mean, he knew her from the get-go.
Mhm.
Another thing I have noticed with Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and, so many others, Celine Dion, for example,
Yes.
these producers slash husbands, one
Mhm.
time or another, they're so much older than these artists.
Yes.
It's
Why is
predatory.
that?
Such a power trip. They don't see them as human. They just see them
Mhm.
as a money-making machine. It's really exploiting these people who don't have the backbone they need, and they don't have the backbone they need because they're young.
Absolutely. There's your, like, frontal lobe is still developing, and you have
Yeah.
this old creeper telling you what you need to do, grooming you. It's just nasty work all the way around.
Yeah, the Celine Dion, I'm not a huge fan of hers. I don't know if you are or not. She's got talent, no doubt, though.
Mhm.
But her husband was how much older? Oh, I don't even know, but she was a child.
Yeah, I feel like he's always been crypt keeper status to me, so I can't tell you how old he was, but he always
Yeah.
looked very, very old compared to her.
Him being close to death was no surprise to me because I'm like, "Oh, seriously, just now?"
Up close to death. When they said Dick Cheney died, I had thought he had been dead for a while now.
We all did.
Okay,
We
I
all
was like,
did.
"Well, is it just me?"
Because he had that, that shooting incident.
That quail incident?
Yeah, yeah, and after that, he just was not heard of.
No. That's why I was like, "This man was still with us? Wow."
But I'm sorry for the family, God bless you.
Absolutely. Prayers to them.
Yes. Oh gosh. Well, I teased last time what movie we were gonna watch.
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and tell you that it was Romy and Michelle's high school reunion from 1997. And you had thought that you had watched it before, but couldn't remember it. However, you decided no, you had never seen it before at all.
Yes, when I was watching it, I said, "I do not remember any of this." I, in fact, think I never saw this movie.
Because it is a rather memorable movie.
Mhm. Yes,
Definitely a 1990s movie. It kind of flows. First we did Clueless. It was a natural progression to go into Romy and Michelle's.
absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. So it starts with the Pretty Woman reference.
Yes.
However, I'm not going to spoil the whole premise of the movie. If you think about it, the whole movie was its own version of Pretty Woman.
That's a hot take, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, because you've got like this these girls who really don't have a whole lot going on. And then in the end, the guy kind of rides in on the equivalent of a white horse.
On his little helicopter.
Yeah, it's a big old helicopter. Do you remember his name? It starts with an S. We'll just call him, well, I guess the boyfriend.
I
But he's
wanna call him Stan, but I don't think it's Stan.
no. I tell you what, I'll look that up while you go ahead and tell me what you thought about it.
So, of course, again, I love a movie, a TV show, anything centered around a female friendship, a strong female friendship. So I love that Roni and Michelle were just thick as thieves and just going through life together. And even when they fought, they realized, no, my life is better with you in it. And they came back together. And we're like, you know what? Screw the rest of you guys. We are happy the way we are. We don't need your approval. And I love that.
I liked it whenever she said, "Well, I didn't know we weren't happy."
Yes.
Yeah,
'Cause we've been operating as a good time. I thought we were on the same page. Where'd this unhappiness come from?
yeah, that's true. And they were only unhappy when they compared themselves to others.
Absolutely.
And
And
I can't find his name, by the way, so we'll just have to make that up as we go along.
yeah, well, it's up with an S.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's a good life lesson even for today still is worry about being yourself because everybody else is already taken.
Did you enjoy high school?
Honestly, school, like, I have a best friend from high school who I
Okay.
still love, and I probably talked to 2 other people, but other than that, I didn't really care for high school. I was still finding myself. We moved around a lot. I feel like I was just lost in a sea of people.
I get that. And there's always that clique, and of course, it shows that clique in this movie too,
Mhm.
and that clique remained that clique.
Yeah, they peaked in high school.
They did, and I had to say the clique in my school pretty much peaked in high school. Just if you're different, such as the girl who invented the fast-burning paper,
Mhm.
you don't have a whole lot to contribute to the high school experience.
Absolutely.
But speaking of the girl with the fast-burning paper, that was my favorite character.
She was awesome.
Yeah.
And I like that the cowboy, I don't remember his name, but she wasn't afraid to get with him. "You're not gonna treat me like this. I'm gonna let you know about yourself."
Well, I found the name of the boyfriend. Sandy Frink.
Sandy, okay, why couldn't we remember Sandy?
I don't know, that was, like, so simple, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but, yeah, high school to me was just really the worst part of my life. Well, kind of. Like, when people say, "This is the best year of your life," no, they're lying. That's not it.
absolutely, it was not. There's
So,
so much other things to look forward to than high school.
life just keeps getting better as you age.
Agree. Even now, timely conversation. So I went and got my eyebrows done the other day, and me
Important.
and my, of course, you got to, keep it groomed.
Yeah.
And me and my wax lady, we were just talking about life in general. And she asked me if I ever missed my 20s. And I said, or if I would go over and redo anything in my 20s. And I said, I probably wouldn't have dated the guy that I dated because, oh my God, that was a hot mess. And that was a different story for a different day. But other than that, I feel like the mistakes I made have shaped my 30s. And now I know what I will and will not accept and what I like for my life. So I wouldn't go back and change anything.
There are people who are saying, you should have no regrets in life. If you have no regrets, you have not grown as a person. So you got to take those regrets, deal with them, and just keep on moving on. I've got so many regrets. Most of them do pertain to men.
It's like, why did I allow this to happen? Why did I lose myself in this relationship and become a version of myself I didn't like? I wish I was would have been stronger.
Now that I'm 49 and I've been single for 10 years, I can tell you that I'm not near as malleable as I used to be. And I'm
Hmm.
very, very thankful for that.
Amen.
Yeah. It's one of the blessings of getting older.
Agree, because there's just things now that I accepted in my 20s and I was dating potential. I'm not doing that now. Like, I'm not here to build a man. I'm not here to build another person.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The excuse of, well, I know he's this, but no,
Hmm.
no buts. We're beyond that now.
No buts.
Yeah. So last time we were recorded, we were talking about the diet culture of the 90s.
Yes.
It appeared again in this movie.
Did because they were talking about how many calories I can burn, and I lost weight because I ate jelly beans and gummy bears.
It was all about being skinny. And thank God we have, as a society, moved from that.
Absolutely.
There was one quote in the movie that I thought was really, really funny. And they were talking about their looks and stuff. It said, "We are not being conceited. We are just being honest." I love that.
Yes, I remember that. Okay, so speaking of the movie, my favorite scene, which I texted you about this while I was watching it,
Yeah.
is when they do that dance. Sandy and Roni and Michelle at the end do the dance. I love that so much.
It was like an interpretive dance they've waited their entire life for, and they'd gone to all these clubs in preparation for this one moment that truly nobody could have ever expected.
Yes, it was so good. And the outfits, I love their pink and blue dresses. They looked
Yeah.
amazing.
And whenever that one girl from Vogue stood up for them,
Yes.
priceless.
I love that because even in the flashback, you could see that she wanted to stick up for them
Yeah.
previously, but the peer pressure and her wanting to fit in and be cool with the other cheerleaders, she was like, oh, okay, no. So I'm glad that she also grew into herself.
Along those lines, whenever they were going up in the helicopter and it was all that wind, and that one main mean girl who's pregnant as can be, her dress flies up and she's got the pregnant underwear on, which, hey, I totally understand that, but it's not the most attractive thing. And she's fighting to keep her dress down. I felt like that was great.
And then her little Billy who's throwing up in the bushes with his little beer gut.
I'm glad you mentioned that. We need to discuss this for all our younger listeners.
Yes.
What you see in high school when it comes to men is not what they're going to be.
Absolutely not.
So there's this mentality of, now they realize grab yourself a quiet guy. The ones who do Dungeons and Dragons, the ones who are the nerds. It's like pre-ordering the man of your dreams. Well,
I
you've got a
love
Dungeon
that.
and Dragon guy, don't you?
I do. I have a very introverted, quiet Dungeons and Dragons guy.
So the guys who look really good in well, back when I was in high school, they looked really good. Was like the big football guys,
Yeah.
liked them broad back then. They are now fat and bald.
With the receding hairlines.
Yeah, and they're like on their second, third marriages. They're not desirable at all. So
Uh-uh.
girls just need to be very careful about choosing too quickly.
Absolutely. And you have time to grow into yourself because who you are when you're 16 is not who you are, or it should not be who you are when you're 25, when you're 30, when you're 45. You're going to evolve and you need to pick a partner who's going to evolve with you.
That's a good point. And, we talked about the frontal lobe not developing until you're 25, which is
Mhm.
an average, by the way. So it could take longer for some people. And whenever you're choosing a life partner before your frontal lobe is developed, chances are you're not going to choose well.
Agreed.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong waiting until you're 30.
Absolutely. And I feel like in this day and age, people are having kids at a later date, which I think is great because by that time you should have figured yourself out more. Maybe you make more money at your job. Maybe you're really settled down and ready to have a child. I'm glad it's not in the day and age where people feel like failures if I haven't had, gotten married and had kids at 25.
Right. I actually kind of grew up in that era, sadly.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of pressure and a lot of things to kind of reconcile as I got older. I love my kids. So, they were the best things I've done. But my career means a lot to me also.
Absolutely. I'm a big career woman.
Hmm.
I switched my career later in life, so
Me too.
yes, I see we have so much common. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I was 29 and I felt up until that point I had just had jobs and then I was getting my master's in management and leadership and a lot of those classes were HR focused.
Ugh.
So at that point, I felt like this is something that I could do. So that's when I made the transition in my career to go into human resources, which we get a bad rap. We get called narcs and all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, I'm really there for the people. So if your manager is doing you wrong, I want you to let me know.
My brother actually works in HR.
Oh,
And
awesome. I didn't know that.
yeah, he's very much an advocate for his employees.
Yes,
Yeah, but not everybody's like that. So you got to fill out your HR before you say too much.
absolutely. And at the end of the day, your HR person the right thing should be the right thing. I don't care if you're the employee or the company.
That's right. It's all about human, therefore human
Yes.
resources. Exactly.
Listen, I used to have grown men who would come into my office just to cry because they needed somebody to talk to. And I'm like, that is okay. It's okay to not be okay. Now, I'm not a therapist and I recommend you still go to therapy.
Uh-huh.
But if you need to just come in here and talk to me and maybe you need to curse and you need to vent, I'm not going to write you up for that.
That's right. And you can do that and it won't show up on your insurance bills.
Absolutely. That's free.
That's right. Hey, did you think Romy has like a really cool voice?
Yes.
And like the way she talks with her mouth is like kind of lopsided?
Hmm.
Do you think that's like totally cool? I loved it about her.
She was awesome. And what the actress is her name? Like Mina something in real life?
Yes, yes.
I've seen her in more movies and she's fantastic. I really like her.
So this is the only movie I've seen her in. Of course, we got to talk about Lisa Kudrow.
Of course. She'll always be Phoebe Buffay to me.
But she did this character really well.
She did so good.
Yeah, so they both just really the back brace. Can we talk about the back brace?
Yes.
I had a back brace when I was in high school.
No.
Yeah, so relatable, but mine was fiberglass and it did not go all the way up to the neck. But man, that thing got sweaty and it
Yeah.
would dig into me and I don't think it worked a bit.
How long did you have to wear it for?
About a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have scoliosis, obviously, really, really badly. And I just gave up on all that stuff. And now I weight lift and it's taken away all my pain. So thank goodness for that.
Amazing. I love
Yeah.
that.
Have not had any pain since I've started lifting weights. You just gotta be strong. That's it.
Yes. And you know what the amazing thing is with working out? So for me, I work out now not to lose weight, but to feel good about my body and to be able to move and to be able to support myself when I'm 80 years old.
No, that's what I do too. Of course, I'm way older than you, but my thing is I want to function in life now and in the future. And part of my social work focus is gerontology. And that is like a big deal for me to have wellness in the elderly community.
Yes. And I feel as a society also we're getting better with promoting working out to be able to sustain your life versus working out to be a size 2.
Well, I kind of like got bigger as I started working out in good places.
Yeah.
Like Kelly Clarkson, I'm kind of small on top. I got it going on there and back. So
I love that.
So I'm wearing the same size, but it's like looser in the waist, just tighter in the butt. And, I'm okay with it.
Absolutely. And the scale, I feel like when you get on the scale doesn't really show the full picture, the full story.
I have an excellent gynecologist, I must say. She's just amazing, my complete hype woman. And she said the other day, she's like, Stephanie, you're just plain old muscle. Just quit looking at the scale.
Period.
Yeah. She's like, you're doing great. Your lab's perfect. Just quit.
I love that. Do not focus on the scale.
Yeah.
Focus on how your body feels. Focus on going to the doctor, getting your checkups, getting your blood work done also.
Yeah. Yearly. Got to do that.
Yes, I have a PCP and I love her. She's fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah, you don't know what to fix if you don't know what you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you gotta get those tests done. You mentioned you liked Romy and Michelle's pink and blue dress for
Yes,
the
ma'am.
high school reunion, but do you remember in their dream when they're at the reunion and they got the Madonna dresses on?
My gosh, yes. And I remember when she
Hmm?
walks in, she's like, "I don't know where my top is." And she just walks in without her top.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, "Girl, what are we doing?"
Oh my gosh. And the ponytail?
Yes,
Okay, so ponytails, first of all, I love a good ponytail, okay?
I do too.
But she just looked so good and those Madonna dresses, that was the era.
Speaking of Madonna, do you have a favorite Madonna song?
Material Girl, no doubt.
Material Girl's a good one.
What is yours?
Mine is Like a Prayer because also the
Yeah.
video was so controversial.
My gosh. I thought I was so just cutting edge by watching that.
Yes. I was like, "Not Black Jesus."
Oh, you're talking about the Black Jesus. Oh my gosh, that was
Yes.
so controversial. So that was one that the church, and I say church in general, but mine specifically too, was so up in arms about. And you can't tell me for a second that it wasn't because of the Black Jesus, okay?
Oh, it absolutely was because of that, because society has made Jesus white, and I'm like, Jesus was
Yes.
not a white man. He was dark skinned.
Dark skinned illegal immigrant.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just call it like it is. But she was kissing his feet, and they were all saying, "Oh, it's wrong because she's kissing his feet." First of all, the Catholics do that all the time, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
um, but we all know that it was the color that bothered them. But then when I see the videos now of of choirs singing that song, knowing that it's sexual,
Yep.
I'm like, "Who's gonna tell them?"
Be surprised. They'll find out one day.
Oh my gosh. I know I'm Christian and, if you're not, it's fine, whatever. But my fellow Christians sometimes are just so slow on the uptake.
Yes. Eventually they get there. Sometimes they just slow walk it.
Yeah. Cyndi Lauper. Love Cyndi Lauper. Her song was in there time after time.
Yes, Colors. I love True
No, was it True
Colors.
Colors?
I thought it was
Time
True Colors.
After Time was on
No,
the
it was Time
movie.
After Time.
Yeah, but True Colors is a beautiful song too.
They're both so good.
Now, we talked last week about We Are the World.
Yes, yes.
Okay. My favorite part of that song is Cyndi Lauper when she's just giving it her all.
Cindy was that girl.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of being slow on the uptake, okay. I remember being like third grade, fourth grade, and Cyndi Lauper put her first album out, which is called She Bop, right?
Mhm.
And I had that little tape of it and I was listening to it all the time. And I remember hearing my parents having a conversation with their friends saying, "Is this a bad thing? Is this music something we should censor?" And all that. I heard them say she won't understand it. It took me until last year, at the age of 48, to understand that She Bop is all about masturbation. Did you not know?
Listen to She Bop all the way through, to be fair, either.
It's a really good song, but it talks about stopping or you might go blind and things like this. Yeah, I challenge you this week, you might wanna write this down. Listen to She Bop and listen to with the lyrics on, and tell me what you think about it.
When we stop recording, I'm going to listen to that and I will be messaging you tonight to let you
Yes.
know.
I was this little 3rd grader, 4th grader going around singing She Bop, not knowing She Bop means seriously getting off.
Speaking of that, so I am a big Usher fan. So I remember when Usher Nice and Slow came out, and my parents got me his concert on VHS, and my parents watched it, and they were like, "No, you can't have this." Apparently, Usher was up there dry humping beds and whatnot, and my little elementary school heart could not see that.
My gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yes. The same thing happened with, The Brat. My mom bought me a The Brat CD for either my birthday or Christmas. They're both in the same month. But she listened to it and she's like, "No, she's doing too much. You can't have this."
So you came from conservative family too.
Well, I feel like my dad is more conservative. My mom is less conservative, but they weren't gonna just let anything fly in the household, you know?
It's respectable. I mean, time
Yeah,
and place.
absolutely. Like you are not gonna it's a black household. You're not gonna be in here talking crazy to me, doing whatever you want. That's not gonna fly.
That is so funny you mentioned that. I was, on TikTok the other day, of course, and I was looking at the screenshot this girl is a white girl,
Mhm.
showed of her mom, and this girl was, like, talking crap to her mom, and her mom was just, like, basically begging her to be nice to her, okay? And this girl wrote in the comments, "Man, I wish I had a white mom."
True though, because black parents do not play that.
I respect it so
Yeah.
much. So no gentle
And
parenting for your family.
no, like there was discipline in my household.
Yeah.
And there should have been. And I feel in today's world there needs to be more discipline. Your child shouldn't be able to walk all over you and curse you out and threaten to hit you and do all the things.
I set the boundaries extremely
Yes.
young, very young. I taught how to deal with people, older people, you must respect them. I mean,
Yes.
I did that so young and so often that I don't have a problem with my kids. Now, I'm not saying they're perfect because they're not. But when it comes to respect, that's a given from my family.
Mhm.
I don't have to correct them on things like this. Occasionally, I have to give them a look, but I'm serious, it might be once or twice a year.
See, and also me and my brother knew if our parents looked at us a certain way, you stop playing.
But they started you all young with the whole idea of respect, right?
Absolutely. Especially
So,
coming from a military background,
yeah,
respect is huge.
my husband was military, so I totally get that. That's a whole different lifestyle.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and all that.
Yep.
So whenever I'm talking to the residents of the nursing home, it's yes, sir, yes, ma'am, because I am in their home and they are my elders.
Absolutely. I do the same thing. Even when I'm on the phone with someone, I'll say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. Or I
Hmm.
try to remember their name so I can say yes and then their name.
Yeah, that's nice too.
Yeah.
But I think in some cultures they get a little bit offended by that. And I don't
Yeah.
understand because I'm actually showing respect. I'm actually showing you the utmost respect.
Same. Definitely not meant to offend. It's meant to be an honor.
My son is a sophomore in college. He's great, straight A's and all that.
Yeah.
He, of course, grew up in a very Southern and very military family, so he does very well with respect. And his professor got him aside the other day and said, "How do I teach these kids not to call me by my first name?" Now, this woman is their professor. And I was like, I've got professors who are nearly my age, okay? I would rather walk over broken glass than call them by their first name.
Absolutely. I've never in my life called a professor or a teacher or just anyone of authority by their first name like that.
Never. And Isaac, my son, was like, "You need to show them how to respect you and set some
Absolutely.
boundary."
Boundaries is key because once they overstep their boundary, if you don't correct it, they're going to see how
Right.
much further they can push it.
If you love yourself, you will set boundaries.
Period.
Yeah.
Preach.
Yep. So, wanted to go on to talk to you about spin class. I know you go to the a really odd gym,
Yeah.
kind of modern. Do you go to spin class?
Yeah, so I actually love spin class too. So the Hot Works that I go to has a cycle class, but there's a place called, well, there was a place called Cycle Bar. It's closing. Love that. And there's another place called Cycle State. And sometimes I will buy credits to them. The unlimited is like $180 a month. And I'm like, I can't afford that.
That's high.
But yeah, like the boutique gyms are expensive.
Okay.
But if they have a sale, usually for like Black Friday or something, they'll have a sale and it'll be like 40, 50% off. So I'll buy some classes that don't expire. And I do love group fitness because you're just getting energy from the other people in the room. And if the playlist is right, it doesn't even feel like I'm actually working out.
They have brought back, the stepper, like the step.
Yes.
Okay. They have brought that back. That has become such a popular thing now.
Hmm.
They actually have tours, like these groups of people who are like really, really good at it would tour the country doing their program with people.
Yes, I actually used to go to this gym where the step classes were really popular.
I have a step and once, I don't know, about once a week or so, I just use it. Like and I know otherwise I use it to get into my washing machine because, shorty, right? One of these days I'm going to fall in there. But it's just great for your legs.
It is so good.
It's such a 90s thing.
Absolutely, because what was that lady's name? She was on Three's Company. Didn't she do step aerobics?
Yes, and she also did the Thigh Master, and I
Yes,
cannot think of
Suzanne
her name.
Summers.
That's it. I've also got a
Yes.
Thigh Master.
I never had the Thigh Master.
That thing will work it now. But the thing is about your inner thighs, a whole lot of that is just, eating right.
Yeah.
That's a bad fat storage. But yeah, I was just using my Thigh Master today.
Yes, I might have to go online and get me one.
Yeah, I got mine off of eBay because, it's kind of old school.
Yes. I love old school things though.
I do
Sometimes I think
too.
about getting on eBay and ordering like a Tamagotchi just to have one again.
Speaking of old school workouts, do you remember Susan or Suzanne? I think Susan Poucher. She was the woman with white hair, short, and she would be like, "Stop the insanity."
Oh, I don't remember her.
Okay, I'll send you a link to get some information about her. Oh, that was like the 90s, though. I'm sure you have seen her. So, anyway, she would always scream, "Stop the insanity." And she was really into like kicking everybody's butt into shape. Okay. So she actually lost all her money and she's now Ubering. But she has this wonderful quote that I have to share with you. She says, "You can be broke, but that does not mean you're broken."
Love that.
No, I know. There's always hope.
She needs to put that on a shirt.
She does. There you go. Not broke anymore, right?
Yeah, now you're, because listen, if she puts it on a shirt, I'm buying it.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember when Screech from
Safe by the Bell.
thank you, when he was selling shirts to save his house?
Yes.
I bought one.
Aw. Also, I can't believe Dustin Diamond passed away.
My gosh, that was on Beyond the Blinds, I think, this week.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Really? When did that happen?"
Oh, yeah, it's been a few years.
I missed it.
Yeah, I remember that happening.
Something else I missed was his sex tape. I had no idea.
Now, I knew he had one. I never watched it. It
Mhm.
was not for me.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even wanna think about him having sex.
Right.
I mean, he's Screech.
Yeah, I was like, if it was Mark Paul Gosselaar, I would, probably wouldn't mind to see that.
Is that the blonde?
Yes, but he had to dye his hair every day.
Did he?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he's not naturally blonde because he's half Polynesian.
I missed
Yeah,
that.
his mom is Polynesian, and he is naturally, like, dark-haired. He's a beautiful man.
Well, I was more of a Mario Lopez. Now that I know who he is, I don't want
Uh,
anything to do with him, but man, is he a cutie.
yes, those dimples, yeah,
You
they
know,
would have gotten me.
I like my men a little dark, so yeah, he just oh my gosh.
Yes, he was definitely cute, so cute. I hate that he is a weirdo.
I know. Like seriously, got some issues.
Yeah, like,
We
you
should
need
do
to
a deep
therapy.
dive.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, we gotta write these down.
Yes.
Mario Lopez. That would be depressing as heck, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you something. The office sex with Ramon, speaking of dark men, the office sex that really wasn't sex with Ramon. She did such a horrible job, and the men are so
Did.
basic that they are like, "Yeah."
Yo, you guys really thought this was them in there getting it in.
I
There's
would
no
hope
way.
not.
Like, they were obviously faking it, please.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but it was such an ego thing for him. I mean, I think that was even better than actually having sex for him.
She literally made that man's entire life.
Yeah. Shoulder pads.
Oh my gosh.
Did
Did you
you
ever have
live?
shoulder pads?
Heck yeah, I did. And the funny thing is I'm really broad shouldered anyway, but
Mhm.
that didn't matter. Matter of fact, I would probably not even, like, if I was looking through the clothing and something did not have shoulder pads, I would be hesitant to buy it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was a big deal. Janet Jackson, we have her to thank for that.
Now, I love me some Janet Jackson.
I do too.
Her
Absolutely. Rhythm
songs,
Nation, my gosh.
her whole sound, that whole era, like, I love her song Miss You, Escapade.
Escapade. Oh my gosh.
Escapade. Let's have a good time. So good.
She was just so wonderful. She brought out a new era of music.
Yes, Janet is that girl.
But my favorite one of hers is so different than what she usually does is Black Cat.
Her Black Cat.
I'm writing this down. Send you Black Cat.
We're teaching each other all of the things. I love that.
Yes. You will just, well, when you listen to this, you've also got to watch the video. Yeah, very important.
I used to love her videos. They were good.
She was the best at her videos. Well,
Uh,
her brother, of course, too, but
oh my gosh. Do you know Scream is still the most expensive music video ever made?
not even surprised by that.
Yeah. And it came out how many years ago?
Gosh, I don't know.
I was gonna say because Michael's been gone for like 16 years. So it was before that.
Has it been that long?
Yeah,
Time flies. Oh my
it
gosh.
really does. Because he passed away in 2009.
And that was 16 years ago. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. The first record, and I do mean record, that I ever bought was Michael Jackson's Thriller.
I have that on vinyl.
That's special.
Yes. And somebody just gave it to me. Like, first time I met them, they just gave me Michael Jackson's Thriller on vinyl.
Were they in love with you or something?
No, it was my friend's boyfriend, and she told him that I liked music, so we were hanging out, and he just gave me that vinyl.
That is just awesome.
Yeah, I was like, "This is awesome." So I've had it. I probably got that in college is when he gave that to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you another singer whose death just kind of shook me is Prince.
My gosh, yes. I wish I would have seen him live.
I don't know if I would have been able to handle it. That's a whole
Yeah.
lot of sexuality in a concentrated form.
It really is. Prince was the original Mr. Steal Your Girl.
And it's so funny because he will be dressing like basically makeup and drag.
Really, he had his heels on. You couldn't tell Prince anything, though.
He was the one who embodied gender being fluid.
Yes.
It's so strange. I can't quite put my finger on it. I can't quite comprehend it. But yeah, he mastered that.
Absolutely. He was in a league of his own with that, for sure.
So this whole movie, I think one of the main questions you should ask yourself after watching this is, what is success? Yeah, and honestly, her friendship that she had, the Romy and Michelle friendship, that was success.
I agree. Success is more than just having a lot of money.
Yeah, or a good job or a husband. Yeah.
There's
It's a
so many things in this life that can complete you that have nothing to do with the things you just listed.
So yeah, okay, success is what completes you then. There you go. We've solved it.
Look at us. We we got the secrets to life over in this podcast.
That's right. We need to go ahead, and I say we, you, tease for the next episode.
Yes. Okay. So, our next episode, once I tell you guys this quote, you're going to know because it's so iconic.
Well, you
But
said that, but I have never seen this, and I didn't know this quote came from this.
yes, but even you knew it even though you hadn't seen this movie.
This is very
So,
true.
yes. So on next episode's deep dive, just think she doesn't even go here.
I'm excited because, like I said, I haven't
Yes.
watched this and I have been wanting to. So I'm looking forward to this.
Me too. So we cannot wait to deep dive our next film with you guys. And thanks again for joining us on the Generational Yap podcast.
Bye.
Bye.